All right.
Thank you. Our wonderful Patty Correa. Thank you. Yes. These are the people we follow because of our respect. When people respect a person, they admire her. When they respect her as a friend, they love her. When they respect her as a leader, they follow her, as Maxwell said. Superheroes. We are attracted to their courage, character under pressure. Super examples. We admire self-sacrifice. We respect their impact and follow their legacy. But these are people we interviewed who are not super in that same context. They were thinking of people they respect most often in practice. And the most often response we found was their family.
So one of the things we did was we were thinking something creative to interview people. So we decided for Facebook, and we thought it would be a great idea to see how many people will respond to our status. And the question I posted was, who do you respect and why? Share with me, happy face. I only got 2 people. And the most common was, as we're going to see, people commented about how they respect family members. One of my friends, Brian, he's a college student. He says, I respect my dad because he's a hard worker. He loves his family, but he always puts God first. And sets a great example for us, the kids, to follow. Then my friend Oralia, she talks about how she respects her internship supervisor. And because he is a selfless person, he works hard. He expects the same of his interns. He has high expectations of others, and she says that he's a very honest and at times brutally honest, but he's genuine. So those are the things that she respects.
Okay, and then I got a response on Facebook from Barbara Feldman. She's a former coworker who's now retired, had a lot of time to answer my question. And said that she respects her parents and grandparents. And just reading this really kind of moved me. And so I put it up here. They were wise and are, one has passed away, actually a few, fair, moral, above reproach. And you can hear the language of the Bible in there. Actually, eldership talks in many different things, or deacons. Most important, they loved, protected, guided, and were always there to support and love me. And she talks about they worked hard, work ethic, and her looking in a mirror and wanting to see them. And that really touched me, because as we are parents or as we are leaders, we want to leave a legacy, not a mess. And her comments really showed, gosh, she wants to be like her ancestors. And she wants to live like them and respect who she is in her cultural background.
I interviewed a mom, and I interviewed a wife. The mom interview was basically about her son and how she totally respected her son. He came up, she said that her son came up in a one-parent home, and he didn't allow the one parent to be a handicap in pursuing and successfully pursuing his life dream, and that was to become a teacher. And he did that. He went to school, he did that, and then she said that he also not only did that, but he also went on further education and became principal of a school in the city of New York. And I thought that that was a great accomplishment for a son to be to come up in a home of a single parent, and the mom was just so elated to have a son like that. And he has a great family. I had some pictures, but we wasn't able to get the pictures onto the screen. And I also interviewed a wife. She totally respected her husband. She said that her husband was a great inspiration for her because her husband had a positive outlook on life. He had an attitude of the cup is, she said that he saw the cup as being half full, whereas she would see the cup as being half empty. And so that kept her grounded. you know, and she also said that he always saw the good in people. And that's a great character to have, you know, when you can see the good in people, even in adverse and negative situations, you can always see the good, and that's a great character to have in a person that you can truly respect.
So for our discussion, what attributes of some of the common people we just mentioned come to mind as things that draw your respect? What characterizes respect in the people that we've talked about? Would be a question you want to ask. And maybe, I mean, this is just a general question about respect for our discussion. Is there something that you got out of these people that you see maybe in your own family as well? Yeah, David.
First, let me say, I think it was very interesting that you focused on family. I think that may be sort of the first category that I just kind of assume is done. So let's go and look at the workforce or school, whatever. That's where my respect challenges are. But to really look at family is really the origins of respect, which the person I thought of was my grandmother, who was very optimistic, glass half full, and showed a lot of unconditional love toward me. And I think because of that, that was sort of the roots as well why I respected her so much. And she still has an impact on me even though she's gone.
So. Yeah, Gary?
I was able to talk to a lot of my kids at school, and it was interesting that a lot of them were the same way. They were, almost all of them, their parents were in one area, they're heroes, because they took care of them, they watched out for them, they were always there for them. They single moms, so it's kind of cool. You kind of think of a younger teen as being rebellious, and your parents would be the last thing that would be their hero. But it was just like the older mom and everything that it was the same thing. Who was watching out for them. That was their heroes.
Right.
I want to bring out a point that was made with family, and what you brought out is on respect. One of the persons I interviewed talked about self, and I thought, you respect yourself, and then hearing all this, it kind of enlightened me that a lot of the things that we are as a person because of our family. And when he brought up his grandmother, I thought of my grandmother, where she raised 9 of her children, and she outlived 2 of her husbands, but she brought, and all my aunts are all they're really great aunts, they're big people, and they're really tight as a family. So that's what I saw, that the upbringing that we have has a lot to do with our core and our leadership, where we take it, what's right, and we just follow the truth. That's what I got of this presentation you guys shared.
Yeah, I think all of them, like Dave said, is connected to family. And that's an area where we all have challenges. I know I do. But one that stood out was Bobby talking about the woman that respected her husband. I was saying that the cup was half full, it's empty. I think I looked at that. I think she valued her husband, the same way for me personally, I know how much regard I have for my wife and how much I value her, that I know that things will not be complete for me if she's not my partner. And I take it, it's about value and honoring someone that you really, really deeply respect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think the thing we got from this too is you have so many opportunities on a day-to-day basis to respect these people and in your family that are so close to you. Let's take it.